Miami Clemson for the ACC Championship 2017 coming up Saturday night on ABC prime time. The Canes, number 7 in the country after falling to Pitt, but still with everything to play for. So I don't know that that game really mattered that much in the entirety of the situation. Clemson, of course, is number 1 in the country and about a touchdown favorite or a little bit more at this point. And some of that being taken into consideration by Vegas and others has to do with the injury situation. So unfortunately, it was discovered today after practice that Ahmmon Richards' meniscus tear in his left knee will miss the game and the rest of the season. Christopher Herndon lost to a knee injury as well against the Pitt Panthers. Can you address those situations and how Miami's going to compensate? Who's going to be more in the game plan because of those 2 players going down?
Yeah, those are big losses. And you put that with Mark Walton, who was previously injured with a broken leg at Florida State. And that's your number 1, your starting running back, your best wide receiver, one of the top 5 or 10 wide receivers in America, and one of the best, if not the best, tight ends in America, all gone off this team. So that's a lot to deal with. Miami is still rebuilding the depth of the program, but the top end talent I'd put up against anybody in America. And when you lose guys of that caliber, of a Walton, a Richards, and a Herndon, and Richards and Herndon being just within this last week, that's a tough pill to swallow. So Herndon was out because he hurt his knee in the 3rd quarter of the Pitt game. So you figured coming into this week of practice, you're going to go more with maybe 4 wide, 5 wide sets to get away from running as much tight end, because Michael Irvin II is the backup tight end who's now going to start. But the gap between the starter and the backup was quite large. And then you have Scott Patchen, who was a defensive end. He came over, played a little tight end. And then Brian Palendi, who's in from Texas, but he's a freshman and he's a little raw. Those are 3 guys at tight end now. So you figure, okay, we're going to go more 4 wide, more 5 wide to, not have to really lean on those guys because they're not ready for prime time yet. And that's okay, because we were not expecting them to be ready to be starting level Christopher Herndon caliber players. But now, where you could have previously had a Richards, Berrios, Jeff Thomas, Lawrence Cager, Travis Homer skill guy position set around Malik Rozier, now you're taking Ahmmon Richards out of that equation. And yes, he's been injured the entire season, only played 8 games, only had 23 catches for 400-something yards and 3 touchdowns. But losing him, now that's one of the guys that you were using to replace Herndon a little bit and mitigate that loss. So now you're not only losing one guy and then replacing him, you're losing the guy you're trying to replace the other guy kind of with. So yeah, I mean, it's going to be just, you're going to lean on all these other skill position guys. So at wide receiver, you got a group of Braxton Berrios, Jeff Thomas, Mike Harley, Dayall Harris, Lawrence Cager. Those 5 guys are going to all play big snaps in rotation. Daryl Langham, excuse me, I don't think I mentioned him. He's going to be in there as well. So they're going to be the guys who are going to be out there as receivers. At tight end, if we're going with tight ends, it's going to be Michael Irvin first, then probably Scott Patchen second, and maybe Brian Palendi third. I got to look back at the participation report to see if Palendi has played this year, or if we would be burning his red shirt, but I'm pretty sure he's already played. So if he were to play more in this game, in the bowl game, it wouldn't, cost anything eligibility-wise. But yeah, that's really going to be it. Who's going to – DJ Dallas is a multi-talented athlete. He's played wildcat, quarterback, running back, and receiver. He's another guy who's going to be out there. And then Travis Homer, the running back, obviously, is going to be out there as well. Maybe a Trayon Gray, even though he's had very low snaps this year. I don't really think that he's going to be that big of a contributor in this game. But, yeah, it's really going to be all hands on deck in a kind of skill position group by committee. It's not going to be – there's no one guy who can replace Christopher Herndon, and there's no one guy who can replace Ahmmon Richards, let alone one guy or 2 guys who can replace them both. It's going to take everybody in together. Yeah, so it's really just going to be a group effort, so everybody has to step up. And, this is Miami, and regardless of the depth of the program or what people think, the standard here has always been next man up. So, we're just going to look at who the next guys up are and just give them the opportunities, and hopefully they're able to make plays and keep us in a competitive game where we have a chance to win.